Thank you for joining us for a summary of our Progress Audit Report on the effectiveness of the BC Community Corrections Division. Community corrections is an important part of our criminal justice system. To give you an idea of the scope, approximately 90% of offenders in British Columbia are supervised in the community. Only 10% are sent to jail. The focus of community supervision is rehabilitation. When offenders serve sentences in their own communities, they have access to their families and can remain employed and in their home. Serving a sentence in the community has also been shown to reduce the rate of reoffense. This provides a much-needed boost to public safety. It's also much cheaper than incarceration. In 2011, the difference was $7 a day versus $194 a day. In 2011, we published a report on the effectiveness of the BC Community Corrections Division. We made 8 recommendations to address key risk areas that were hurting the division's performance. Since 2011, the division has completed 3 self-assessments and 1 action plan of its progress in implementing our recommendations. With this progress audit, we were looking to see if its action plan is accurate. Overall, the Community Corrections Division has made some progress in addressing our recommendations, but more can be done. The division's action plan stated that it had fully or substantially implemented all of our recommendations. We audited its progress on 6 of the 8 recommendations and found that only 1 is implemented. Of the remaining recommendations, the division has partially implemented 4 and taken no action on 1. Although the division's assessment of its progress differed from ours, we'd like to point out that this was largely because of a difference in how we each interpreted the follow-up process. The division based its progress on the effort it put into addressing each recommendation, while we looked at whether it had achieved the recommendation. We will work with the Select Standing Committee on Public Accounts, or PAC as they're known, to clarify our expectations for future follow-ups. Of the 5 recommendations that have not been fully implemented, the division has committed to doing further work on 3 of these by looking to see whether the changes it has made are working. For the other 2, we're concerned that the division has no plans to implement them. Staff told us that there is nothing more they can do. These 2 recommendations are around evaluating the effectiveness of contracted services in community programs and identifying gaps in staff capacity and caseload level. In our 2011 report, we talked about how the division provides programming to offenders through contractors and community resources, programming such as counseling, substance detoxification, and housing and employment services. We recommended that the division evaluate the work of these external resources to understand their effectiveness, but it has yet to do this. We also looked at staffing levels because the division reported being understaffed. In the end, we recommended that the division complete a comprehensive impact assessment to see if there are gaps between its staff capacity and caseload level. The division has done some work in this area, but feels that there is nothing more it can do. By not implementing these recommendations, there is a risk that the division will not have a complete understanding of the impact its programs and resources have on its effectiveness. This is the first progress audit that we've conducted under a new joint follow-up process with PAC. We just established this process with them last year. Auditees now submit action plans to PAC shortly after we complete a report. The action plans are discussed in committee meetings alongside our reports. Once this is done, auditees must then provide updated action plans to PAC once a year, starting 1 year after the initial presentation. Separately, we review the action plans and determine if any require follow-up work, like the progress audit we're discussing today. We select a sample of action plans to audit each year based on risk, dollar value, impact, and more. Thanks for joining us, and to read this report and others, or for more information about our office, please visit our website at www.bcauditor.com.